Hi everyone, welcome to Trieu Talk number 9. This Trieu Talk, I have something really exciting for you guys because I will be doing an interview with Joe Rivers, who is the business development manager of MC Squared, and that's an experiential marketing agency, and he's also my close friend. I'm so happy that he agreed to do this interview because I believe this will give you guys a little more insight into experiential marketing. Before I begin, I want to share a story about how me and Joe actually met. So I met Joe through LinkedIn, which goes into emphasize how this platform is such a great way to create connections and relationships and also find out more about a field that you're particularly interested in. Last year when I graduated from college, I was interested in experiential marketing and I wanted to find out more. So I thought the best way to do that is to obviously talk to those who are already in the field. So I did a quick LinkedIn search, found those people who are in experiential marketing, and saw Joe's profile, and it turns out that he was also from Buffalo as well. So I thought this was a perfect person to connect with and to talk more about experiential marketing. And then also got to meet each other in Advertising Ad Week in New York City. And then ever since then, we got to attend some experiential marketing events, and he's always just been the person I can talk to about these kind of activations and these strategies. So I'm so happy that he agreed to interview, and let's just get into it.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was quite the very unique way for us to kind of interact and meet one another. I know I've been in experiential for some time now. Really kind of seeing the niche of marketing grow from a very consumer facing perspective as like a tour manager and brand ambassador, and then I
Wow.
moved to New York City on kind of a whim in a way to join MC Squared here as their strategic business development manager. And that was through my mentor, who is now my boss, actually. And he
Really?
pushed me to go to that Advertising Week event that we formally finally met.
Yes.
So that was fun and exciting as well, to learn about just the industry as a whole and kind of seeing where the direction of it was going. Certainly
Mhm.
some setbacks currently, but they'll definitely come.
Exactly, exactly. How crazy was it that we officially met at Advertising Week? Was it like, yeah, this past fall? And I was an amazing conference. I love that conference. Like we saw so many experiential marketing people and just like, wow, I loved it. And then from that, when I moved to New York City, we got to take on a few experiences ourselves, which was so much fun. Like you're officially my experiential marketing person that I always go to know all about the experiential marketing and activations happening in the city. Like you're my outlet for that. So that's
I
amazing.
appreciate that. I tried to attend everything I could. So
Of course. Of course. So before we get started onto the questions I have for you, I always do this thing called True Tidbit. This is True Tidbit number 7. So it's literally just a truthful advice or maybe a life motto. So I would love for you to offer me a true tidbit before we start. Any advice or any life motto you have for everyone?
yeah, there's kind of like a three prong thing there. One of which is empathy, and that just goes really far in terms of certainly people who have that for different purposes of whether it's experiential marketing or just personal things. So empathy is a huge one for me, for a life motto. And then another where I've seen it help me so much, and I want to do that for others too, is being a mentor or a mentee. I believe
Hmm.
that's another aspect of life that, whether it's a family member or someone else, a friend, or just someone you meet, it certainly helps to kind of bridge that gap between maybe the next step in a career or just a different move or something like that. And then the other one for me, definitely on a professional level, is just kind of being always open to networking and just meeting new people, kind of getting outside your comfort zone. That's certainly been something I've always adopted into my lifestyle of traveling and meeting people and doing different things.
Exactly. I can't agree. Can't agree more. It's all about relationships. And as a business development manager, you know that it's all about creating true relationships, and that's the key to everything. And I love that you said that. Amazing true tidbit. So now we'll just get started into the questions. So my first question for you is actually, about MC squared and kind of what is your agency's special wow factor? And just I mean, guess talk to me if I was a brand, and how would you sell your agency here?
Yeah, well, MC Squared, we're a live experience and event production agency. So we have our full service capabilities, from creative and
Mm-hmm.
strategy to
Mm-hmm.
logistics and event execution. But our bread and butter has always been production and fabrication. So having
Mm-hmm.
those abilities and capabilities from both a domestic and a global scale,
Mm-hmm.
because we also have our parent organization out of Switzerland,
Oh,
has
really?
given us a lot of range and scope for projects, from building out Samsung booth at CES to
Mhm.
doing different pop-ups across the country, as well as different tours. So
Yeah.
having all of those kind of in our arsenal certainly makes us an agency where we partner with other agencies, but then work directly with brands as well.
Amazing. That's amazing. So, what would you say? Like, I don't know if you were there for the activation at Samsung, but out of all activations you guys have in your portfolio, what would you say was your most successful one?
Most effective. Well, I guess
Mhm.
each has their own KPIs that they reach, and
Mhm.
kind of also just different overall campaign strategies. So whether that
Mhm.
incorporated something with digital, social, or just return on investment for how many people we're reaching,
Mhm.
it kind of definitely varies. One of my personal favorite ones that I think had a very profound impact was actually when I first started here at MC Squared, and I went out to we did a project for with their design agency for Kia, to do
Mhm.
like a human car wash experience at different music festivals. So that
Oh
was
wow. Yeah.
the last stop on that tour was Electric Zoo on Randall's Island, and it was
Oh.
pretty crazy to just have like all these consumers walk through this human car wash,
That's
dance,
awesome.
have, like photo ops, and then they were able to sit in the vehicles. But it was impactful and definitely had
Mhm.
that, kind of outlier of like, let's build this massive thing in already a massive environment of a
Mhm.
music festival. So it was really great to see everyone kind of get a lot of brand loyalty out of that too.
Yeah, that's so much fun. I love that the fact that they took advantage of concerts and festivals, and they actually, I think it's amazing because being at if you ever experience any concert or festival, it gets hot. So like that just makes like the experience also really great that you're able to like give them a car wash. That's human car wash. That's amazing. So I guess that leads to
Right.
my actually one other question. What are the few success metrics you guys use for your events? I know it's obviously based on the brand and what kind of the project goal is. So, like, can you discuss me giving some examples of some metrics you guys use? Yeah.
There is a fine line there, of where kind of like my role fits into like finding out where that information kind of lies. A
Mhm.
lot of times, if we're partnering with an agency, we just white label ourselves as building and fabricating it, where they get
Mhm.
all the metrics afterwards. But there is like an instance where we worked directly with Netflix and kind of fabricated and built out this whole campaign for
Mhm.
Bird Box when that movie came out,
Oh yeah.
and it was like this mobile bus that was in California and Texas, and
Mhm.
essentially just had consumers blindfold themselves, go on the bus, and then they would kind of have like different haptic feedback experiences. So it'd be like,
Mhm.
you know, hearing different things and kind of all the different sensory interactions. But with that being said, to kind of track that, well, we gave them each a little like kind of custom box that had their blindfold in, other
Mhm.
little items, as
Mhm.
well as kind of seeing the it go viral on Twitch actually. So
Oh, that's
that was
nice.
another way of like kind of showcasing, okay, look, this garnered this many views and
Mhm.
allowed for people to kind of be engaged on social platforms too.
Mhm. That's great. I mean, yeah, being involved in the social platforms, especially Twitch, that's obviously upcoming and a huge platform to be on. So that's amazing that they got to show like the impressions on that. That's amazing.
Mhm.
Um, So actually, the next question I have for you is more about the current times. What do you think is the future of experiences and activations for the upcoming year and, with the current pandemic going on? So,
Yeah, so I've had a lot of conversations with different brands and agencies alike. A lot of them friends, and just a lot of people, kind of being in a very supportive mindset right now of everyone in
mhm,
the industry.
mhm,
A lot of the consensus that I'm gathering right now is people definitely are not going to be doing too many things in the next 3 months, in terms of
yeah,
like, full on experiences.
mhm,
Um, there is a lot of talk though to kind of find out, all right, how do we create that hybrid like solution? Because no
great,
one's figured out the silver bullet just yet, but
yeah,
there is a lot of opportunity to do a hybrid like solution that allows for more
mhm,
intimate, smaller gatherings, but then have it
mhm,
live streamed to the larger masses out there too. So
right,
there's these opportunities to kind of find out those solutions right now. I know from almost anyone that's in experiential, but then just marketing as a whole,
mhm,
there's no way to fully replicate that live in-person experience. So how do you engage with someone, whether it's maybe shipping a kit to influencers, hosting
Mhm.
smaller intimate dinners, maybe
Mhm.
creating some type of online engagement like a Slack channel. To an extent that does work. I have seen that kind of help that bridge that gap between the digital to physical side of things. So
Mhm.
I see those things being tested, but probably for another 6 months down the road is when we'll see more pop-ups, I think, come back, and then
Okay.
hopefully by 2021, full-on events will people are eager to go back to it. So
Oh yeah.
that's for sure. Like
Mhm.
in a very safe and health conscious way, but people are eager
Right.
to get back to those events and those experiences that kind of help shape a lot of people's economies too.
Exactly. I feel like a lot of people are itching just to go back to experiences, back to human connection. Even in the travel industry, you see that coming through where people just want to get back to, just exploring and just seeing other things. So that's awesome. I definitely think it's going to be a slow get back to the normal pop-ups and activations. Like you said, it's going to be more personalized. It's going to be probably more smaller, obviously. So I
Right.
mean, good steps to take, to get back to trying to have larger pop-ups. Do you have any innovations that you think for technology-wise that would be a huge factor into the events next year? Like I know, like obviously having virtual meetings, so Zoom was obviously being used a lot, but any actual like other innovations you heard of?
From a platform wise of like virtual, not particularly. There's a couple
Mm-hmm.
that we're exploring right now.
Mm-hmm.
Certain innovations like the drive-through experience has been really fascinating to see.
Mm-hmm.
Another one that I really like that we've kind of definitely been partaking in and putting it into the forefront of our minds to like say, hey, this is something unique,
Mm-hmm.
is building out these hologram boxes essentially,
Mm-hmm.
and they can kind of be transformed to like hollow walls as well. It's
Oh.
this idea to essentially like put these boxes at a CVS,
Mm-hmm.
Walgreens, any of those kind of convenience stores,
Yeah.
as well as the walls could probably be built up at like a drive-through of like a McDonald's or some sort,
Oh.
and they would have the engagement where you could be driving through, and if it was live stream you could actually like interact with maybe this product or this person that's there,
Oh, that's
or it could
awesome.
be pre-recorded content. So
Mm.
something like that I see being pretty innovative and something that can be approached within the next month or beyond, month, 2 months, 3 months. So
That's actually amazing. I would love to see that happening because it's like someone individually get to experience like just like by themselves, just like one person into whether it's a drive-through experience or it's like they enter into this you said a hollow wall box kind of deal.
it would just be an
Yeah.
interaction. They wouldn't walk through anything, but it would just be
Oh,
this
okay.
box that you can like literally go up and kind of see this interact from a hologram. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So before I go to the last question, do you have anything else or any last words you like to say about the topic of experiential marketing, about your agency or your role?
Yeah, no, I mean it's honestly just a time to connect with people and kind of it's I'm going to sound like one of those commercials, it's now more than ever people
Mm-hmm.
are being very supportive in terms of like taking that meeting, exploring this innovative approach towards something, or just
Right.
being there, kind of tying back to the whole empathetic standpoint that I like to try to live by, at least, is
Mm-hmm.
understanding that there are people going through something completely different than I am, even though I know I've seen this quote kind of being shared around lately, and it's, you know, we're not all in the same boat, but we're kind of in the same lake, if you will. It's like we're all
Right.
trying to navigate this. And
Mm-hmm.
so there's a lot to be said to have, people in that same lake and kind of being very supportive and everything.
Exactly. I love that analogy. I love that. It really, I guess I totally agree with that, with the whole that empathetic standpoint is that we're all in the same lake, so me and I are on the same boat, and we have to respect that we all have different perspectives and different boats. So that's an amazing analogy.
Yeah.
So my last question is a little quirky one, just to put a little fun to this. If you're eating a Chipotle burrito bowl, do you eat it with a spoon or do you eat it with a fork?
Work.
Fork? Oh
Oh, yeah.
wow, Joe. I don't know if we can speak after this interview. I'm a
Well,
huge
it's a
spoon
bowl.
person.
You're still eating. It's not eating cereal. It's eating, beans and all that good stuff.
Yeah, but I just feel that it's such a mixture, and it's like a huge. It's almost like you're eating like not like soup, but like you're eating rice. You're eating like all the sauces into it. So I feel like scooping it with a spoon makes it so much easier to eat. Whereas you eat it with a fork, it just falls through the fork. You know what I mean? Sometimes,
Different
you know.
different boats, same lake. That
That's
that
a
that
great.
analogy goes this way too.
That's a great reference to have during this. What would you rather eat with? That's awesome. Eat it with a fork to have best of both worlds. I think.
Yeah, that's true. That should have
Well,
been my answer.
yeah, the best of both worlds. Well, thank you so much, Joe, for taking your time to answer these questions. I love to I want to share more about experiential marketing, and I think you shared a lot of perspectives on experiential marketing today, and I hope that everyone gets some value from this. And thank you so much for being part of this Trieu Talk.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. And I'll see you guys next week for your next Trieu Talk.